Alreet petals, how you doing? It's your girl Lai-Dee Flegman and welcome back to my channel where we explore the good, the bad and the also. Welcome to episode 1 of our journey into the world of BDSM. You might have heard of it through hushed conversations, maybe glamorized movies, or perhaps you're just wondering what all the fuss is about. Let's unravel the basics of BDSM and explore how it's travelled from the shadows into mainstream pop culture thanks in large part to Western media. So go grab a cuppa, get some snacks and make yourself comfy, because here we go. Before we get started we need to talk about something important though. Of course I'm talking about this video being censored. If you'd prefer to watch the uncensored version plus some exclusive content, head over to the Patreon page, link for which is in the description. Thanking you all muchly. So what is BDSM exactly? Right, so first things first, let's talk about the acronym. BDSM stands for Bondage and Discipline, or BD for short, Dominance and Submission, which is the DS part, and lastly, or SM. Let's start with Bondage and Discipline. Bondage and Discipline. This involves tying up partners, using handcuffs, ropes, etc., and using discipline techniques to reward or punish. Dominance and Submission. Dominance and submission is a dynamic that deals with control. One partner willingly gives up control, the submissive, while the other takes control, the dominant. Sadism and masochism is where one partner enjoys inflicting pain, and the other enjoys receiving it, the. Now, before we start grabbing at the pearl necklace, BDSM is not about non-consensual harm or abuse. Everything is consensual to the point of having fully informed consent. This brings us to our first and most crucial principle. What's so important about consent? If BDSM had one golden rule, it would be that consent is everything. It is the bedrock of every BDSM activity. Both parties involved must provide clear, informed and enthusiastic consent. The key here is open communication. Partners must discuss their boundaries, what they're comfortable with and what's off the table. This open communication creates a safe space where both partners can comfortably explore their desires without the fear of crossing boundaries. We'll talk more about boundaries in a bit, but for now I want to talk about the best way to keep consent active during your spicy squish time. What about safe words? Safe words play a pivotal role in keeping both partners safe during playtime. A safe word is a predetermined word or signal that any participant can use to halt the action if they feel uncomfortable, unsafe, or wish to pause play for any reason. One of the best safe word systems is the traffic light system. You've got green, amber, and red. Green means everything's good, please continue. Amber means whoa, slow down please, I'm a little unsure. And red means stop right now, thank you very much. Though you can have any word as your safe word, it just needs to be something completely different to just stop. What's a power exchange? At the heart of BDSM is the exchange of power. Power dynamics in BDSM relationships are completely sensual, meaning that the submissive willingly hands over control to their dominant. Though just because the submissive has handed over control doesn't mean they're at a disadvantage. The submissive partner holds more control than one might initially assume. They define their boundaries, set limitations and yield the safe word as an emergency brake. This duality of control makes BDSM a dance of trust, with the dominant partner taking on the responsibility of guiding, protecting and ensuring the sub's well-being during playtime. What types are there? While the heart of BDSM is the interplay of dominance and submission, and this power play dynamic is the bedrock of every BDSM dynamic, there is still quite a few different types of power dynamics within BDSM. I'll be making a video on the different dynamics and types in way more detail, but for now, I'll quickly list a few of the different power dynamics. Dominant and submissive. First up we have the dominant and submissive. This is one of the most common power dynamics. The dominant partner takes control, while the submissive partner willingly yields and follows their dom's lead. Master and slave. The master and slave dynamic next. With this, one partner is the master, or mistress, holding total control, while the other partner is the slave giving up all autonomy to their master or mistress. It often includes structured protocols and rituals. Caregiver and the little. The dynamic that is going to cause outcry in the comments, I just know it. Anyway, this dynamic is all about age play, where one partner takes the role of a caregiver, looking after their little or baby partner. This dynamic often involves nurturing and protection. Handler and the pet. Much like the caregiver and the little, the handler takes care of their pet partner who may act like an animal, embracing pet play elements such as roleplay, obedience, and pet-like behaviours. Rigger and the rope bunny. The rigger and the rope bunny dynamics revolves around rope The rigger expertly ties and restrains the rope bunny, who enjoys the sensation and aesthetic of being bound. Primal predator and prey. Primal play explores raw, instinctual power dynamics, with one partner embodying the primal predator role and the other as the prey. It often involves elements of animalistic dominance and submission. This dynamic centers around inflicting and receiving pain. The takes pleasure in giving pain, while the derives pleasure from receiving it. Daddy and baby girl/boy. This dynamic again is rooted in age play and involves a partner taking on the role of daddy or mummy who nurtures and guides their baby girl or baby boy. It includes elements of caregiving, protection, and childlike behaviour. Tamer and brat. In this dynamic, the dominant, or tamer, pairs with a brat, someone who enjoys pushing boundaries, being defiant, and playfully challenging their dominant's authority. It often involves punishments and discipline. Top and bottom. Unlike the other dynamics, this one may be less focused on emotional power. Tops are responsible for the physical and sensual aspects of the encounter, while bottoms typically receive and enjoy the sensations. There are more dynamics, but I'm going to be making a video going over each one in much more detail, so subscribe and all that jazz. What about restraints? Now let's move on to another major aspect of restraints. When many people think of they think of chains, whips, and stretcher tables. And while these can be a part of it, it's essential to understand the core idea: pleasure, not harm. Restraints, whether rope, handcuffs, or silk ties, can be used to enhance sensations and play with the dynamics of control. While they can involve the physical act of immobilizing a partner, they also create a psychological impact emphasizing vulnerability and trust. Make sure you always use restraints correctly to avoid harm, and always have a way to release someone quickly if needed. Participants must be attentive and respectful, ensuring that restraints do not lead to injury or undue discomfort. Safety is paramount. But why do they like it? BDSM offers individuals a unique avenue for self-discovery and a connection with their desires that extends beyond the physical. The act of consensually relinquishing or taking control in a BDSM dynamic can provide a sense of empowerment and fulfillment for many. It's about acknowledging and embracing their innermost desires, sometimes hidden beneath societal expectations and judgments. Partners who engage in BDSM build a foundation of trust that extends beyond the confines of the bedroom. The shared experiences create a profound connection, often leading to a deeper understanding of each other. One of the fascinating aspects of BDSM is its vast spectrum of activities and sensations. Beyond the well-known elements of bondage, dominance, submission, and sadomasochism, there are countless variations and nuances. Some individuals find pleasure in sensory play, where sensations like temperature, texture, or impact are used to elicit Others explore roleplay scenarios that cater to their deepest fantasies. Too, find a welcoming home within the realm of BDSM. Be it foot worship, leather and latex, or another particular fascination, these desires can be acknowledged, celebrated, and safely explored in a consensual setting. Beyond the physical sensations, often delves into the psychology of pleasure. It's about the mental and emotional aspects of power and isn't just about whips and chains. It's about the shared fantasy and thrilling exploration of desires. The dominant may assume the role of a disciplinarian, you try saying that twice, nurturing a sense of authority and control. They may dictate rules, provide rewards or punishments, and set the stage for a scenario that fulfills the submissive partner's fantasies. BDSM in pop culture. Has come a long way from the whispered secrets of the underground to a prominent feature in Western media. The influence of pop culture has played a substantial role in bringing BDSM into the mainstream. I think I should get the main one out of the way first and try and hide my disdain for it. Of course, I'm talking about 50 Shades of Grey. This book series turned movie franchise certainly drew both acclaim and criticism for its portrayal of BDSM. There's no denying its impact, no matter how much I hate it. It catapulted BDSM into the spotlight, triggering discussions about the lifestyle, boundaries, and the importance of consent. Beyond 50 Shades, various TV shows and films have delved into BDSM themes. Notable examples include The Secretary, The Story of O, and the TV series Masters of Sex. Netflix has also got some interesting shows as well, including the TV series Bonding and How to Build Room, which may or may not be a subject for a near future video. Hint hint, nudge nudge. On the topic of consent now, what does SSK and RAC mean? There are a few acronyms you might want to get to know. First up, there's SSC, which stands for Safe, Sane and Consensual. The fundamental concept of SSC is that all activities within the BDSM realm are conducted with the focus on well-being, mental stability and the informed consent of all involved parties. Next up, there's RAC, which stands for Risk-Aware Consensual Kink. It emphasises that participants should be aware of the potential risks and challenges involved in the BDSM activities, prioritise consent, and engage in kink with a clear understanding of the possible physical and emotional consequences. RAC encourages informed consensual exploration while acknowledging that kink is not entirely risk-free. There is also another acronym, though this one isn't used as often, which is BORK, or Balls Out Risky Kink. This is where participants engage in activities that are intentionally high risk and may involve more extreme, unconventional practices, meaning to push boundaries even further, acknowledging the increased potential of risk and challenges. The misconceptions of BDSM. Often carries a cloud of misconceptions and stereotypes, and it's essential to clarify what BDSM is and is not. And to avoid falling into the trap of harmful and sensationalized myths, I've gathered a list of them to go over. BDSM is not abuse. The first and foremost misconception is to dispel that BDSM is synonymous with abuse. All activities are consensual and revolve around shared desires. It's about trust, communication, and mutual satisfaction, not harm. BDSM is not only about pain. While some aspects of BDSM involve pain play, not all BDSM activities focus on the physical. It can encompass a wide range of sensations, from light bondage and sensory deprivation to psychological power dynamics. BDSM is not a mental illness. Engaging in BDSM doesn't imply a mental illness of any kind. It's about consensual exploration and satisfaction of shared desires. Many practitioners lead healthy and fulfilling lives outside the BDSM context. BDSM is not gender specific. BDSM is not limited by gender. People of all genders and sexual orientations can explore BDSM. It's an inclusive world that welcomes diversity. Okay, it sounds intriguing. Where do I start? If you're still intrigued by BDSM and considering taking your first steps into the world, here's a roadmap to guide you. Self-reflection and communication. Before you involve a partner, you should engage in self-reflection. What are your desires and boundaries? What aspects of it intrigue you? What parts of it scare you? Once you've had a little think of this, you can discuss your interests, limits and expectations with your potential partner. Education and research. Dive into educational resources. Books, websites and forums offer valuable insight into the world of BDSM. Learn about safe practices, consent and the psychology behind BDSM dynamics. Attend workshops and munches. Many BDSM communities host workshops and munches, casual meetups at restaurants and cafes, where you can meet experienced practitioners and ask questions. These events provide an excellent opportunity to connect and learn from others. Choose your role. Determine whether you're more inclined towards a dominant role or a submissive role, or if you're interested in switching between the two. Be open to exploration, as your role can evolve over time. Find a competitive partner. When you're ready to engage with a partner, seek someone who shares your interests and respects your boundaries. Communication remains crucial throughout your BDSM journey. Set clear boundaries. Establish clear and non-negotiable boundaries with your partner. This is essential to ensure that both parties are comfortable and safe during BDSM activities. Safe words. Implement safe words, which are predetermined signals and words that can be used to halt an activity immediately if you or your partner feels uncomfortable or unsafe. Start off slowly. In the beginning, it's advisable to start slowly and gradually explore the BDSM world. You don't need to jump into advanced activities right away. Embrace trust and respect. Trust is the cornerstone of BDSM. It's crucial that you and your boo trust each other implicitly and respect each other's desires and limits. If there's no trust, don't bring out the whips and chains. Safety first. Always prioritise safety in BDSM. This includes understanding the proper use of restraints, tools and implements, as well as knowing how to mitigate risks during BDSM activities. For example, always keep a pair of EMS scissors around if you're playing with bodies. As you journey deeper into BDSM, you'll discover a wide spectrum of activities and desires. I made a list, again, this time on some of the more mainstream aspects. Bondage. First up, of course, is bondage. This involves restraining a partner through various means such as ropes, cuffs and bondage tape. It's about creating a sense of vulnerability, control and excitement. There are numerous styles and techniques with bondage, from intricate Japanese shibiri to simple wrist cuffs. Sensory play. Sensory play explores the range of sensations that can be pleasurable and exciting. It can involve the use of various objects and textures to stimulate the senses, from feathers and ice to wax and massage oils. Roleplay. Roleplay allows you to step into different characters and scenarios, from the strict teacher and student dynamic to the elaborate fantasies like pirates, vampires, and any other roles that excite your imagination. Impact play. This category encompasses activities like spanking, flogging, whipping, and caning. It focuses on the thrill of impact and the sensations it generates. Humiliation play. This type of play involves consensual, emotional, or psychological humiliation. It's essential that all forms of humiliation are pre-negotiated and agreed upon. This is another one that is more about the power dynamic than causing harm. Pet play. In pet play, one partner takes the role of a pet, such as a kitten, puppy, or even pony, or even Dakin if you work at Twitch, while the other acts as the owner or handler. It often involves roleplay, obedience training, and specific behaviours. Edge play. Edge play refers to activities that push the boundaries of safety and comfort. These activities require a deep level of trust and communication and should only be explored with experienced partners. Well, that was a wild ride. BDSM offers a unique realm of exploration and pleasure, whether you're new to this world or a seasoned practitioner. The key is to embrace your desires, communicate openly with your partner, and prioritise safety and respect, and most importantly, have fun. As it continues to evolve and become more mainstream, one thing remains constant: the paramount importance of consent, open communication and boundaries. So, whether you're drawn to the allure of submission, the thrill of dominance, or the sensory delights that BDSM has to offer, take your time, explore at your own pace, and always remember that the essence of BDSM lies in the understanding, empathy, and the shared pursuit of pleasure and connection. And that's it for today's video. Did y'all have fun? I hope y'all learned something. If you think there's something I missed or have suggestions for future videos, leave a comment down below and let's get a conversation going. Anyway, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon, all that jazzy jazz. This is Lai-Dee Flegman signing out, and I shall see you all in the next one. Bye!